Good afternoon, everyone. Beryl has made landfall as a strong Category 4 hurricane with winds near 150 miles per hour. Now, where does it go? Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justus, keeping you up to date on Beryl, a monster which is now in the Caribbean. I am watching this closely, and it is a monster moving toward the west with a very well-defined eye wall. If you're new to my page, I'm a trusted weather expert with 20 years experience tracking hurricanes and severe weather. I give you early warnings of severe weather. That's kind of my thing. A reliable forecast you can count on and a direct approach you won't find anywhere else. Let's get right to it because Beryl is still a very dangerous storm and it has its sights set on at least 2, maybe even 3 more landfalls with wind and rain impacts. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Beryl had an eye wall replacement last night. Normally that's about a day to a day and a half cycle, but it really is like a snake shedding its skin. It did it efficiently. It did it quickly, and now this system is moving through the Caribbean with as much strength as almost it could. I mean, this is a textbook hurricane. It's basically a chainsaw moving through a buzzsaw with that eye really, really mean and dangerous. Let me show you that east is the beast, west is best is kind of the saying with hurricanes. And here we are as we navigate this out. You can see that east quadrant, those whites right there are winds that are in excess of gusting up to 150 miles per hour. You can see that on that northeast quadrant. This kind of maps out where the worst of those winds are located in this. And then you go through these islands. I mean, we're talking just north of Grenada right there. It is a monster. It is a monster moving through the Windward Islands, and it's about to continue to press on through the Caribbean right here, maintaining Cat 4 strength. Now, the models have maybe shown just a sign. I don't want to let your guard down in Jamaica, but I want you to know that things are just a smidge better in Jamaica today, okay? It's a little bit farther south, and it's a little bit weaker. Now, I don't want you to let your guard down. Please take that seriously. You got a Cat 3, Cat 2 on approach to you, very, very close to your south, okay? But just like in the island chain here, from one island to the north, the farther north you get away from that eye wall, I won't say the better things get, but the less volatile things get. 96L behind it, again, working off of the water that Beryl has churned up. And if you can kind of see it right here, those reds where Beryl's at right now are in the reds. Beryl has upwell, brought up colder water from the bottom of the Atlantic up to the surface. So now 96L is kind of working off the leftover water, right? It's colder. Hurricanes don't like colder water. So moving forward here, we're going to have to watch this moving forward, but the Caribbean needs to be on guard. We are watching all things with Beryl, and the latest tracks for where it goes next call for Jamaica to get a very close call. I mean, it's going to be a rough day Wednesday for you in Jamaica, but it's not going to be as severe as just to your south. You're going to have 15-foot waves on your coast. You're going to have tremendous rain, strong winds, but that Cat 3, Cat 2 wind should be confined right there at the eye wall. There's not a lot of mystery today. Heading shortly thereafter to Cancun, the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, possibly the Belize-Mexico border right there, and then it spills into the Bay of Campeche, and it moves toward Mexico, all right? Pretty sound look from our models, and really there's not a lot of mystery here. I have almost, in my 20 years of tracking tropical systems, never seen a system this consistent with its track in the models. The models are doing a great job. It's a nod to our technology, also a nod to how the steering currents are kind of just locked in. All right, so please in the comments, I do monitor them. Let me know where you're watching from. That helps me out tremendously, and it goes without saying, folks, my prayers are with you in the islands, okay? If you'll join me in praying for those folks in the islands. I mean, it's going to be a couple of days, weeks, months ahead as they rebuild and recuperate from this monster hurricane. When you look at our most reliable computer models, again, just south of you folks in Jamaica would be next target for a landfall. Certainly rough surf from Puerto Rico up through the Dominican Republic and Haiti, up through Cuba, and then Cancun, Mexico. We're talking about a rough Thursday, 4th of July for you. Then it's spilling back into the Gulf and then into Mexico thereafter. The strength, Cat 4 right now, then wind shear starts to take hold of this system. It plummets to a Cat 3. Again, we're talking a Cat 2 would be unusual. for goodness sakes, a Cat 1 hurricane July 1st is very unusual. But a Cat 2, Cat 3 on approach to Jamaica here, and then a Cat 1 thereafter. I mean, this is pretty remarkable, folks. And this is a record-breaking hurricane, how strong it was and how early it was. Looking at all the different GFS models, again, not a lot of drama here. They do take it a little closer, especially that GFS model with a near hit in Jamaica. That's why I'm telling you, in Jamaica, you need to really take this seriously. This could be a direct hit for you or a near miss. I need you to put your preparations in place right now in Jamaica. And then shortly thereafter, Mexico. Cancun's really watching this, and then it goes toward Mexico or Texas. Texas, we're talking more just rain. Most of the models are keeping this west, as is the National Hurricane Center. And again, a steady decline. Cat 3, Cat 2 on approach to Jamaica, Cat 1, then a tropical storm after it interacts with land and has other wind shears impacting as well. 96L, again, is a little bit struggling today. Not really circulating much. It's kind of a blob of moisture. So the models are not real excited about this storm, which I am thankful for. But as we move forward here, it's still one to watch. 96L going over, at the very least, some more heavy rain for the islands that will be recovering from Beryl. It continues to press onward. Almost an identical track to Beryl because the steering currents are rather locked in right here. The model's in pretty good agreement here with where it's heading. And as far as strength is concerned, I mean, that's some consistency, folks. That's just that big ridge of high pressure locked in right here with where we're going. Tropical storm seems to be a good bet. Could be Tropical Storm Debbie. Remember, we had Chris that formed very quickly in the Gulf of Mexico, then made landfall last night in Mexico. So now we're on our fourth storm being possible here. And again, GFS models, offering basically an identical track to Beryl over the coming week to 2 weeks. Let's look at this. Wave heights. Beryl really generating some rough waves. We're talking 15 to 20 foot waves in and around this through Jamaica, and it comes on board right here and moves off toward the west. How about the two models combined here? Here comes Beryl, Jamaica. I mean, the GFS wants to show you getting hit with a direct hit of a Cat 1, Cat 2. Then it continues to press off toward the west right here, and then it kind of fizzles out. The GFS model does not develop Debbie, so to speak, as much as the other models do. So, folks, what you can count on from me is I'm going to continue to keep you posted on Beryl, where it's heading, all the tools that I have here for you. We're going to keep you up to date on this. And if you're new to my channel, if you followed me through Beryl, my whole approach to weather and forecasting, whether it's on TV or on the internet here, is to give you an early warning. I like to be transparent in my forecasting, but responsibly. I don't cry wolf. I do not hype, but I do tell you what I see when I see it. I give you a direct approach. That's kind of unique because a lot of folks will try to wait until they know, which, hey, I get. You want to kind of have more confidence before you go out, but that requires you to take that information responsibly, and I know that you can, and it honestly is how I couch it, right? I'm going to tell you if I'm not real sure about it yet, but I'll also tell you when it's time to prepare, and I hope that you've appreciated that approach as we've tracked Beryl now through the Caribbean islands. Again, goes without saying, pray for those folks down there. Then this moves into the Caribbean. Jamaica's next. Cancun, Mexico, possibly as south as Belize, and then it goes into the Gulf of Mexico where it's kind of wobbling around a weak tropical storm heading toward Mexico. Folks, I'll keep you posted. Have a good day.